Alright, so I got me a Ford Mustang. I'm gonna do the timing job in it. So I'm gonna put her ass on the lift. I'm gonna drain my fluids. Come up here and take my air box off, my belts off, my alternator, everything off the front of here. AC compressor, water pump, pulleys, the crank pulley down there. This reservoir, the fan coming out, all that's coming out. Top radiator hose, that's covered right here. So that's what's happening. Alright, so I got my reservoir off, 2 bolts, 2 hoses. Got my upper radiator hose off. Got my air box off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put ratchet in there. I'm gonna take my belt off. Also got to take this air hose off. I gotta take that valve cover off. But first I'm gonna take this belt off. I'm gonna take this cover off. Take some more shit loose. Alright, so I took a bolt out for power steering, took it off of here. Then I took 2 bolts out the top of this radiator fan. And one plug. Unplug the rest and pull that shit out of there. Pull my cover off of here, so now I'm gonna pull these out. Unplug my wires and shit. I'm gonna pull that bracket off right there. I'm gonna pull that water pump pulley off. I'm gonna pull the bolt out that damn crank. I'll pull this pulley off. And I'm gonna see about this AC compressor and shit. I'm trying to get all this shit out the front. Alright, so I got my alternator off, right? Wire and the other wire that just went to the side of it. Alright. Alright. Got them out. 3 bolts. One more bolt right there. 13mm. So now I'm looking at this thing and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my intake up. So I'm gonna unplug this wire. See how I'm gonna unhook this hose right here. And I'm gonna get this thing up out of here. Unhook any wires that'll hook to it, and I'm gonna try to get this thing up. Alright, so I take 2 bolts off right there for this thing. Vacuum line off back here. It goes right there. All them bolts you see, I think it's fucking 4 and 4 on the other side. One line up there. And these 2 lines right here. I'm just gonna take them loose right here. And I'm gonna take it loose right here. I'm gonna take my intake up out of here. Alright, so I got my intake up. And as you can see, I went ahead and covered it up. You always want to cover it up. Later on, I'm gonna blow it off and cover it with some smaller rags. But now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this pulley off with this 13 or 12. That way I can get to that bolt back there. I'm gonna go ahead and take that jank off. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this jank off. And that's it, just them 2 brackets right there right now. Alright, so I got my bracket off right here. Shit was 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Alright. So now I'm gonna come on over here. And I'm gonna try to get this one off. What I'm gonna try to do is keep all my AC lines and everything hooked up. And I'm just gonna try to take the bolts that hold it on. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably just them 4. Come on, man. Alright. So I got my 4 bolts out. It's gonna slide right off of here, but I'll go ahead and drop my AC compressor from the bottom and get these bolts out of here so I can leave it sitting down there. It's probably gonna be 2 on this side. It's gonna be 4. I'm gonna go from underneath. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and grab them bitches. So I got my 4 bolts out. But I'm gonna have to go up here, let my AC out, and take that 1 AC line off because of that dumb shit. Alright, so I got this shit off. Got this shit hooked to the fucking side. Now I got my bolt out. It's a 19 for this crank. I'm gonna try to pull this motherfucker off here. And then I'm gonna pull this fucking water pump off of here. And then I'm gonna pull the valve cover. I just pulled my AC lines off. I just left that bitch on there. Alright. So I pull this shank about here. Just remember how this shit goes. Wraps around here. Just like that. It's from my crank sensor. Pull my bottom radiator hose off. Pull my other radiator hose off. I'm gonna get my damn 8mm bolts out of this bitch. Got these bitches loose. Alright, so I left my water pump on for now. I'm gonna try to get my crank pulley off with that tool right there with 2 bolts. Right now I just took my 6 bolts out of here. There's one back there, one down here, one right here, one up here, one down here, one right here, and it just comes on up, so I'm gonna slide it up out of there. I disconnected all my wires and my damn injectors and shit. Got them out of the way. So I'm gonna pull my other valve cover up, then I'm gonna get to my crank pulley. Alright. So I figured it out. I'm out here and I'm taking my crank pulley off with this shit right here. Her ass is about to come on up out here. 2007 Ford Mustang 4.0. Alright. Crank pulley remove. Ah, man. Come on. Looks like her ass there. Alright. So that's a little. Let me show you the little piece of me real quick. Just took a bolt. And I just cut the end of the bolt off. And I cleaned up one end. And I stuck her ass up in the back of that thing. Her ass off of there. Priming cover bolts right over here, so I remember. Alright, so I'm draining my oil out. Got these 4 bolts out of the bottom of this thing. 2 right there. Couple more up here. 1, 2, 3. Got a couple up top up there. I'm about to move up top now. I'm about to get this timing cover off here. Alright, so I got one of my timing covers off. I say one because the other one's in the back of the motor. And I don't know how much it's going to be a bitch to get. The way this thing looks, it's pretty fucking crazy, so I'll let y'all know what I do next. Faulty timing belt tensioners. You see that motherfucker just laying up in there, huh? There was some plastic up there. This is your chain play. It's on this side. You could just toss it around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to fix her ass. It's a 07 Ford Mustang. Alright, so I'm down here because I got all that front shit off. I got to get the back of the timing cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my starter out with them 2 bolts. Just take the wires off the back of it too so I get to my torque converter bolts. Get my torque converter bolts out. Take my neutral safety switch loose. My transmission lines, my oxygen sensors. I'm gonna drop my exhaust down. Probably from up there and up there. And drop my drive shaft down after I get my exhaust down. Looks like I'm gonna try to let my exhaust just hang. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I might, if I can, leave it up. But what I'm looking at right here, this has got to come down. So I'll let y'all know what I do next. Alright, so I'm getting my starter wires loose right there. And then there's the 2 bolts. And I'm gonna drop that thing down. Alright, so I got my starter out. There's my torque converter bolt right there. I just got to go back up here and stick my crank bolt up in there. And then turn my motor on over until I get to her ass and get her out. It's probably gonna be 3 or 4. Alright, so I unhook my oxygen sensors, just push down a little button and unplug them up out of here. Then you just push in on the little tab in here and slide it down off of this bitch. I got my neutral safety switch unplugged and my linkage off with a pry bar, so I go get my drive shaft down. So I got my 4 bolts out back here, but now I got to get my 4 bolts out up here. So got them 2. I'm gonna go up here and put her ass in neutral, spin her ass, and put her ass back in park. Alright, locked in. Grab them other 2 and I'm gonna pop this thing off and hopefully just slide it through this crack. Try to keep my exhaust up here right now. Alright, there's my front bolts, so I remember. And my back bolts are on the driver's side. So I got all my bolts out of here. I'm just gonna try to show y'all real quick how you knock this thing off of here. It's just a look. Tap. And her ass is off of there. And it's gonna be the same for back here. Hopefully I don't bust my head, but you try not to. Bitch. Alright, so I'm gonna have to put my thing down, but just gotta tap that bitch off of there. Try to tap it right there. Not on this. Alright, bitch. Got my drive shaft off. Bottom transmission bolts out. Still have them out the way. Now I'm gonna take these 2 transmission lines off with a wrench and just leave them to the side. Then I'm gonna see what else I got to take loose, and I'm gonna get this thing down, which I might jack up this transmission a little bit. Alright, so I got my exhaust down both sides. I got these clamps off right here. Now I'm about to take these 3 bolts out. I'm about to jack up on this transmission right here with a block and take these other 4 bolts out. Take my exhaust hangers off and take my exhaust down and take my top transmission bolts out. Alright, so I'm back up under here. You can see my Cadillac converter over there with my bracket for my transmission that was right here. My other Cadillac converter. Bolts are on either side. You see I took the middle bolt out. The other 2 really didn't have to come off. I went up here and I unplugged that wire, unplugged this earlier. So I got all the wires out the way. They clip on there with these stupid little things. You just got to pry them off of the side. So now I'm just gonna make sure I got everything off and then start getting my transmission bolts out. Alright, so I'm up here with my long extension. I'm getting my transmission bolts. So I got this one, I got the top one right there. The ass is the same size. So I'm just gonna throw them bitches over here near the starter. Well, I don't remember where them bitches is. So I'm gonna leave this one in, but I'm gonna break her ass loose. I'm I'm gonna break this one, and I'm gonna leave that one in there too. So I got 2 more up there. Alright, so I'm back up under here. I got my box. I'm about to let this thing down, but I had to get this last plug out. So it's a 10mm bolt on top, and then you just gotta pull it as you fucking unbolt it. And it just comes up out of that fucking hole, and it's really stupid. But I just want to show y'all that because it's so stupid and you don't want to fuck it up. So now I'm about to put my box up under here, let my car down. Alright, so I got my bolts out on both sides, and she come loose a little bit already. So just gonna try to back her ass off of here. See how this side's looking small for there. Alright, so I'm just gonna back her ass up a little bit. Probably need both hands. So there she went. That's her ass up out of there. So alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and let my car up a little bit. See if she's separated right here. And I'm all clear, man. Just trying to hang. I ain't hanging on the motherfucker thing. That's it. Alright. Now our ass is out of there. Be able to get to the back of the motor. Do my timing back there. Alright, so I took my flywheel off. This is a fucking torque shit. E12. Fucking take my cover off here. Now I'm supposed to be, there's a timing chain back here. But from what I'm looking at, man, it looks pretty complicated. So might end up just taking this motor all the way out. Might be my best bet. So I'm gonna let y'all know what I do, man. Cause right now, I'm at a weird point. So I pulled my other fucking big cover off. See up in here. And I mean, I just see bullshit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my motor out. Motor mount right there. Motor mount right here some fucking where I get them from up top. I ain't got a whole lot of wires. I'm gonna go ahead and pull her ass up. Drop this fucking oil pan. And some more shit. I see I got a rear main seal leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that while I'm in here. And probably the oil pan gasket. I mean, a whole bunch of shit's gonna be replaced. So y'all be here to see it. Alright, so I'm up top. I'm about to get this motor out. I got one ground wire. It's back here, right there. It's on there. And then I got these other 2 that you can just see the cable right there. I'm gonna go get it from underneath. Then I'm gonna get this hood off with these 4 bolts. And that line over there. And I'm gonna get her ass up out of here. So I'm up under here. And here's my other ground wire. I know my camera's dirty today. I don't even care, man. But you can see it. There's the ground wire. And I'm gonna wanna take this wire loose right here. And get that off of there. So I got 2 shits to get off right here. And then I'll be able to get her ass out of here. So I got my hood off. Got my jack stand over here. My engine lift. I got my chain on. Got one on right here. So I'm trying not to crack nothing. Looks like it's gonna fucking do something. And then I got my other one on the back there. I'm gonna take these 2 nuts off and lift her ass out of here. Alright, so I got my nut out right there. Oh, I gotta go over to this other side. Cause I got this other nut out over here and I found a fuel line, which I should have been thought it was. See, I didn't take this valve cover off. Alright, so I got fuel line right here. And I think I'm just gonna pry up on this thing. I'm gonna get her ass unhooked. It's like that. Then you just push these things through. I'm gonna have to use both hands and it'll pop right off. And I'm gonna pull my motor out. Bitch, what the fuck? I mean, damn, yo. Oh, you motherfucker. Damn, yo. Alright, so I got my two nuts out from my motor mount. And I had this fuel line. I had to pop open and then pop this down. Got my fuel line off. I got everything off. I'm about to come out now with my motor. So I got her ass coming out. Pretty easy, man. Pretty easy. Everything is disconnected. Running into a problem here, problem there. It's a fuel line in my way. Put her ass up out the way. Pull her ass back a little bit. Alright. Just so I don't hook nothing. Got some heater core hoses back there. Alright. And that's her fucking ass, man. And that's how you do it, my dog, right there. That's not how you do it. Nah, that's how you do it. I just got hooked somewhere. Yep. Another crazy fucking day. Got my transmission laying back there in the back. I'm about to do this timing job on this motherfucker. Crazy.